All right. So who we have here is Jack Sai from Southern California. Hi, Jack. Thanks for being
Hello.
here.
Thank you for having me here. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So let's start. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about you and your background?
So my name is Jack Sai. I was born and somewhat raised in Taiwan. I came over to the United States when I was 13. And then I got into the real estate industry 13 years ago when I was 24. And I started selling homes because I'm always interested into investing into properties. I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm like, I need to learn how to get passive income. So I started getting into, I got my real estate license and I started selling home, and I saw that I went to some coaching program and learned that there is a possibility that you can make $500,000, $1, 2, 3, 4, $5 million a year. I was like, okay, I'm in. If I can only do 10% what they're doing, that would be awesome, right? So that's how I got into the business, and yeah, stay in the business for about 13 years.
13 years. Wow. Okay. So you're still in business. You have your own office now, right? You're in your own office.
We just got a new office.
Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. Thanks to you.
Well, we're gonna share about that, how that came about. Okay. So yeah, if you can share with the audience, Jack, how was your professional life like, as well as your personal life like before the mentorship with me?
Okay, so I took your class like a year ago, exactly a year ago. So before that, my business was like I was doing a lot. I was grinding a lot. So I always felt like even on the weekends or on my downtime, I'm always thinking about business. I think I talked about this with you before. Like I just can't shut my brain off. I feel like whenever I'm taking a break, I'm like cheating. I shouldn't be resting. I should always be on the go. I keep on thinking, doing, or do something, learn something.
Mm-hmm.
So I always have this mentality of I'm not doing enough. And personal that I think that applies, that affected my personal life too. Because obviously if I'm always thinking about work, and my wife started working with me like a year and a half before our your coaching program. And you work with her too. Like unfortunately she's taking care of the baby, so she can be on the call. But I mean, like I think it's somewhat, I mean, we're cool, we have really good relationship, but there will be time like we focus more on work than our personal life.
Okay. So Jack, what you're saying is like you're like a lot of high achievers, right? Who's very good at doing things, right? Getting things done. But then when you actually slow down, you feel kind of like there's an anxiety and guilt in a way, like you feel like you should be always be doing something.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard of other like social media celebrities or influencers like Gary Vee or like Grant Cardone. I mean, they're awesome. I love their content, their book. At the same time, in their based on what I learned, some of the things that they said is that when you're young, you should be working. Weekends, you shouldn't go out. You should just work, right? And then so I was like, yeah, I should work, and not take break. And that influenced me a lot in my first 10 year of career until I took your class. I learned that life is not just all about that.
Perfect. So why don't we talk about that? So what has happened since the mentorship? How has your personal life, how you spend your time and business shifted since then?
There are a lot of content in your class. It's just way too many. I mean, I can't finish this in like 2-3 hours. But anyways, there are a couple of main things that has impacted me a lot is, like I gotta think, act, and be like my future self, like my C-type goal, my big audacious goal, right? Where I want to get to. I would need to be like that, act like that, talk like that, think like that, take action like that, invest like that, so I can have the result that I want.
Yes. Do you mind sharing with the audience what your type C, your audacious goal is?
Last year or this year?
Same. It should be the same, right?
Oh yeah, same thing. It's true.
It should be the same, right?
Yeah, $1 million a year in income from
Dollars.
multiple source of income.
Okay, good, good. So that was that the goal when that you set for yourself when we first started working together?
No, hell no.
No. What was your goal? Do you remember?
When we first met, I
Yes.
think it was, I think I said for $500,000.
Okay. So I just wanted to give the audience some context. So your goal was set to 500, right? Half a
Yeah,
million. Okay. But then we talked about, the C type goal is something that you really, really want, that really what stretches you, right?
yeah,
So then that's why, you and I came up with the 1 million, right?
yeah.
Okay. Just to put it into context.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be very honest with you. When I said the $500,000, I didn't even think that it was already a stretch goal for me. I think my highest earned year was like 325 before. And then
Wow.
the 5 mil is just a jump, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
So yeah, but being able to set that bigger goal, I think it kind of forced me, not force me, it allows me to think bigger and think differently.
Absolutely. So when we first set that goal, I know in your mind, and this is what most people think, right? Most people think that if I'm already working so hard, right, and I earn 350, if I have, more like 500 or 1 million, that means I need to work harder, right? That's the logical thing to do. And I think that was what your thoughts were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then what was the biggest shift that you and I worked on to help you shift that mindset, if you remember?
I
You
think there are a
shift.
couple, but the first thing first, when I was deciding whether or not I should take the class, I don't know if you remember, I talked to you. I'm like, Amy, I have no money right now because I put all my money into the property that I was gonna buy. I bought last year, and then I put all my money in there. I'm like, I got no money on hand right now, and I got no time. Look at my schedule, Amy. Look at it. Let me see if I got time because I usually pack my schedule with coaching calls, prospecting time, meeting clients, appointments, negotiating, things like that. I pack my schedule. And the first thing you said to me, Jack, your schedule is too packed. I mean, how are you allowing opportunities to come in? And like that got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, if today there's like a really, really great opportunity, I may not even see it because I'm too busy. I gotta rush through this appointment so I can get to do my next thing. And I'm doing and doing and just going through the motion.
Yes. Right.
Right. So that helped me out a lot. So I in the past year, I started to empty out my calendar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So right now I have on my daily schedule, I have only packed my morning. My
Good.
afternoon is free. And then
Good.
obviously if I will set appointment as it comes, but it wasn't like before that I had packed my afternoon too,
Good. So did you feel like breather?
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
And you remember? So the affirmation that we had, you start thinking about that. What
Yeah.
was that? Share with the audience?
My affirmation, you mean the I'm so happy and grateful, that one?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so happy and grateful. I'm earning $1 million consistently from multiple streams of income easily and effortlessly. I have so much time. I work less and then I earn more. And I am connected to infinite source of supply.
Amazing. I love it. Good. I'm like, that was a pop quiz. I'm like, let's see if
Yeah.
you remember.
I read it every day, so I remember.
Good, good, good. So the big part of that, a mind shift for you, was the part when you said work less and earn more money, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
I learned it's totally doable. And I think recently I had this aha. I read some book about it too, and like it kind of remind me what you said because I've been meaning to either hire an additional assistant or like making some investment on. Let's just even say like buying a new car, right? And like thanks to you, I mean, because we will talk whenever I have those issues or questions, and you'll be like, "Hey, what would a millionaire Jack do?" And you meant, and we're talking about how we can 10 times our income, work less and earn more, right? And I started thinking, it's not entirely. I need to think differently than the old Jack,
Right.
because the old Jack is comfortable doing everything himself, and everyone only have 24 hours in their life every day. Sorry, every day, and then 24 hours you have to eat, so you can only work so much,
Mhm.
right? And in order for us to 10 times our income, we have to be able to leverage either some sort of system, but most importantly, finding the right person to help you out to expand your business.
Right.
And I looked around all the top agents or all the great business owner, they were able to build their business not by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
The Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not sure, I'm sure a lot of your audience saw that video, the movie. Like Jordan Belfort, when he started the business, he got like 6, 7, 8 friends to start it with him.
Mm. Yes,
Right? That's where he was able to touch more people.
absolutely. By building a team, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and focus your time on the most important thing, right? And not just busy work, because before when we met, it was a lot of busy work, right? It seems like it was your schedule was so packed with so many things, but they were not really income generating. They were just busy work, right?
Yeah.
But the mindset shift for you is from accepting that because I remember initially you didn't really accept the idea. How can I work less and earn more money?
Yeah.
Right? Conceptually, you like the idea, but deep down inside, you didn't really believe it, right?
I would put it this way. I mean, I would think the way how I was doing before, it was for me, it was income generating activities. Okay. But at the same time, yeah, I would generate income, but slowly. And
Mm-hmm.
then most importantly, I gotta grind to get those business. But now after taking your course, I learned that like it's more about how you are feeling throughout the day, especially when you first start your day. How do you do? Oh, sorry. Uh-oh. Is my computer is connected. Anyways, so I remember like we gotta start our day by like doing visualization, doing affirmations, and meditate,
Yes.
right? To put ourselves like first and focus on ourselves first, our inner self. Because once we can control our inner self, then we can influence the outer world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right. And it starts with you, right? The shift starts with you. Okay.
Mhm.
So share with the audience. I would like to hear your manifestation. So what have you manifested during our mentorship and or since then? Either material things or physical things. I mean, you're in your office too, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what other things?
So when I first started the course, I was like, Amy, I got no money. I remember I just mentioned earlier, I got no money, but if I can make 30 grand within a month, that would be a big win for me. And then that way I have some reserve. I can pay my tax. I can pay the tuition, however you want to call it. If I can make 30 grand a month, I'm good.
Yes.
And you were like, okay, let's give this exercise a try. And then I watched some video. I did some exercise that you asked me to do. And I think that was December 6th or 7th, something like that.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I got 20 some more days. The year will be end. Where I don't have escrows or leads or anything, nothing. I mean, I'm working with some buyer and seller, but nothing set in stone. But on December 24th or somewhere around there was an offer that we put in. Originally, we didn't get it. But the agent called me back, said, hey, Jack, the buyer backed out. The property is yours. Commission is 29,000. So that was the first thing. I was like, oh shit, no, sorry. I was like, oh, this is real.
No, this is real. All right. This is raw and real. We love it, Jack.
Yeah. And then later on, there are a couple more things. Like I talked to you about I want to get a new car.
Yes.
And I've been thinking about it for a while, for many months.
Yes.
And then we had this conversation, and then you're saying that, I mean, what do a millionaire Jack do? Right? I'm like, if I make $1 million, small money, I can pay for it. Right? And then and you were telling me that, by thinking about this all the time, it's taking out my space in my brain.
Yes.
I don't have the time to think about others. I don't have time to focus on the more important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So successful people, you should just make decision quick.
Yes.
Don't waste your time on thinking, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Ready, fire, aim.
Yes.
So I was able to manifest my dream car.
Ooh, tell the audience what it is.
I got a Porsche 911.
Ooh, congrats. It's beautiful, by the way. I hope I can show you guys a picture. But it's something that how long have you wanted that car?
For a while, for a couple of years. But for a couple of years, but I never thought about actually getting it, like thinking about getting another car until last year. So a year.
Okay, good, right? And this is just to put in perspective for people, okay? When you say you don't have any money, this is you earning 350K, okay? So it's not like some tight, small amount of money, guys, okay? Just so you know.
No, what I mean is that I have either reinvest back or spend that 300 something thousand, because we gotta pay tax and we gotta live, things like that.
Yes, absolutely. So besides the car, let's talk about your financial goal. Okay, so we know now your goal we set at $1 million. Okay, so what did you end up earning at the end of last year, Jack?
I made a little over 500,000 last year.
500,000. Wow,
I would say
congrats.
this way though. I was to be fair though. My wife was pregnant last March, somewhere around March. We found out that she was pregnant, and then after that, I was having a good first half of the year, and then from there, I was learning this new thing for myself about relaxing more. So second half of the year, me and my wife were working on, because first year when we worked together, remember I was telling you it kind of affected my personal life.
Yes.
We have some conflict because there are things we operate differently, and then I talk, I just think much faster, okay? But I'm not very detail oriented. She's very detail oriented, but a little slower, which is okay, different, right? So first year it's different. So there will be many times we'll be like, hey, why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way? And it was annoying for me. Well, not annoying. I'm sure it's not comfortable for both of us. Because we love each other. We don't want to have that relationship. But both of us know that this is our bread and butter. We gotta make money. This is how we're gonna survive and create a future. So we had to deal with it a year ago. But last year, second half, I'm like, you know what? She's pregnant. And now that I need to learn this thing about relaxing my mind and not to just push and push and push, and then at the same time screw up my relationship with my wife. So second half, I would say, and you know this, I wasn't working I was working, but I wasn't working too hard. Yeah.
It's funny, even you say it, you're like, you feel like, oh, you don't want to say it, right?
But I know it, and you know it too. We talked about this many times.
Yeah. So you're telling the audience, Jack. So last year you bought a house, right? Your wife got pregnant, and then you now you have a first baby. Congratulations. You got your dream car, and then you earn 500K, right? The most you've ever earned.
Yeah.
While working less and learning how to relax.
Yeah, I relaxed very well last year.
Awesome, right? So what mindset shifted did you have to go through from the year prior, working, hustling, didn't actually work a lot, and then didn't earn as much compared to last year, right? Like, what did you have to go through to make that happen? I think
I would say, in life, in business, whatever business, I believe, it's very, very simple. I mean, it's everybody know, if you're in service industry, take care of the client, just do what you can to improve the business. But it's not easy. None of the business, if you want to get to a certain level, it's not easy. You got to put in the work. A lot of the successful people say there's like a 10,000 hour rule. If you want to get really good at something, you got to spend 10,000 hour in it. A lot of people give up before that 10,000 hours. I've been doing this for about 12, 13 years. I think I surpassed that 10,000 hours, right? So I would say what was your question?
I would say that the mindset shift for you to be able to have a different result, it really required the mindset shifting, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So before, it's just basically I have to think how I can make this work myself. I am the sole creator of my own future. Okay. But by taking your class, I learned that there is a higher power to everything. Some people may call it God, some people may call it the universe, whatever it is, right? And there are laws of everything, like on everything that's surrounding us, right? And so we gotta learn those. I'm gonna apply the thing that we kind of talked about earlier on visualization and like just understanding, like there's a, I think you mentioned this before, it's like the matrix.
Mm.
If you want to look at, you can look at this world from this one lens, or you can choose to take the different colored pill. I think the red pill, right? I forgot the color. Anyway, take the pill and look at it from another different lens. I think one thing I'm good at, I don't like to say I'm good at, so I'm really not good at too many things, but I'm okay. Anyways, that's not the point. I think one thing I'm good at is I'm I'm good at believing that I'm not the only one that's facing this challenge. Whatever I'm dealing with, no matter what it is, somebody dealt with it before. Somebody know the answer. Somebody, it's not the end of the world. And unfortunately, I have someone like you to ask, and that helped me, put me on the fast track on whatever I want to get to.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what really mentorship or having a coach is about, right? To guide you to the right direction, to save you time, right? And energy, thinking about all these other things, right? And really get you to focus on your goal and where you want to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So last question for you, Jack. So for people that are watching this, right, and they're thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I should invest in myself. I'm not sure about, the coaching. Any word of advice that you will give them?
Yeah, I get this question asked sometimes. Some people ask me, "Hey, I got $5,000. Where should I invest? I got $10,000. Where should I invest?" And then I'm like, "Okay, 10,000, 5,000. If you depends on what you're good at. Some people you can go invest in NFT if you're good at it, right? I don't know. I don't know what you're good at. I don't know what you're comfortable with, right? But I am the type of person. I believe that personal development. If I were to invest this money into like your coaching or whatever I'm trying to learn, it's mine. Nobody can steal it from me. And then if I invest, let's say 10,000, whatever amount into your course or any course, if you can generate me, let's just say 20,000, it's already double the income, double the return. And then last year, because of your class, a couple hundred, I mean, how many, I don't even know how many percent more.
I don't know. 10x more than 10x now.
Yeah, and then the thing is also I'm 37, right? I do plan on living another 50 plus years. I can apply whatever I learned here for another 50 years. So let's say I'm gonna use whatever random number. Your tuition is 10,000, okay? And then 50 years, that's like what? $200, $200 a year?
I have no idea. Check.
That math. 50 times 200, yeah, I think $200 a year to apply what I learned from you. It's cheap.
Absolutely. I would say if you invest 10K, for example, not everyone is going to get this result, of course. But in your case, you invested, let's say 10K, and then you get 500. It's like no brainer, right? Return on investment for any business people.
I think I would say this though. I took many different courses. Tony Robbins, Landmark, Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, all that stuff. Yeah. And what you teach, it's none of them mention about what you talked about. And it's a different world where people just don't, you're not gonna learn that from school for sure, first of all. So after college and you go to work, your boss or your client, whatever you're working with, they're not gonna talk to you about this kind of thing.
Right.
Obviously, if nobody talk about it and you're never exposed to it, you're not gonna YouTube it. I mean, some people may, right? They are into meditation, all that, which is good. But what you teach is much deeper level into the subconscious mind. Right. And which I'm gonna apply that with my kid, because you mentioned that their subconscious might develop when they're about like 6.
Yes, that's right.
So I think by taking your course, I mean that already is gonna influence how I would. Obviously, I'm gonna love my kid. I'm gonna take care of her, but especially when they're at a certain age, I'm gonna watch out what I say to her.
Yes,
and I think it's already that's priceless already.
Exactly. It's because it's not just about you who benefits. It's actually when you shift, I'm sure your family shifts, your coworker, your colleagues, right? Your business and community is all going to shift. But it starts with you, right? And with that, Jack, I really want to applaud you and I really want to congratulate you because you are the one who did the work. Okay.
Thank you so much.
And I know it wasn't easy sometimes when I tell you to just, relax, right? I know because that was out of your comfort zone, but one thing is you're very coachable. That's why you get the results that you got, because you're very coachable.
Thank you. And thanks for always being on my ass. I'll be, hey, have you doing this? Thank you.
You're welcome. That's my job. That's my job. Okay.
I do want to say that, I mean, like, because I've been to many coaching programs, and you are the only one that would just check in on like on call for, like, oh, Amy call. And you, I can tell you genuinely care about your student. And I really appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. So with that said, Jack, you and I need to have a meeting for this year's goal, okay?
We will.
Good. So again, thank you, Jack, so much for coming and sharing your experiences with people that are listening.
No problem. If you're thinking about it, just sign up. Don't think about it. Save your time. Ready, fire, aim.
Awesome. Thank you, Jack.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.